And welcome back to Ozarks Live. All right, Cami, we haven't had a watch list in a while, but there is a Hulu thriller drama miniseries.
I like me some thriller.
I know, that's a mouthful, but it's really good. I watched it earlier this week.
Okay.
It's called Candy. Okay.
Never heard of it.
Hulu original, like I said. It stars Jessica Biel, who we haven't really seen a lot from in a while.
No,
so I'm excited to see her back in the game. But also in the movie, or in the series, we see Melanie Linsky and Pablo Schreiber, as well as a cameo from Biel's husband, Justin Timberlake, which is exciting.
That's always fun.
So this miniseries aired last month over a 5-day span and depicts Candy Montgomery's small-town Texas life with her husband, 2 small kids, and of course her church community.
Okay.
Okay, before I go any further, check out this trailer.
Okay.
This is Candy Montgomery. Prior to June 13th. Did you like Betty Gore?
What do you mean?
Hey, y'all.
I had no angry feelings towards her. If that's what the question is.
How would you characterize your relationship?
We were friends.
Taking you back to June the 13th.
Betty and I got to talking.
What did you do then?
All right, I have to know. Watching that, okay, not knowing much about it, what is your just like initial reaction to that trailer?
I'm very uncomfortable in my own skin right now. That they nailed suspense, I think. So tell more.
Yeah, okay, so that is exactly how I felt watching it. Like I was laying or sitting there and I was just like it's just one of those shows where your heart beats a little too fast every once in a while, you know? And I will say, they definitely make it seem a little more like scary in the trailer than I think the show actually is, but it definitely has that thriller and suspense aspect to it.
It reminds me of the whole Hitchcock vibe.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, and I will say also, like, to compare to something else, and they kind of mentioned this in the trailer, but a few years ago, Hulu did the act about, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name now, but the mom and daughter duo here in Springfield. And that show was also just as eerie and creepy and weird. And that's exactly, like, when I was watching, I was like, that show, the way I felt, this is exactly how I feel watching this.
You know, I never did catch that one either. So this is based on, it said something true events.
Yes, so it's like, so they emphasize a lot in the show that it's not necessarily a true story, but it's based off real events. And in the show, they, you know, it's TV, so they dramatize a lot of it. But it's really interesting. So as mentioned, Candy Montgomery, lead character, right? This situation took place back in the 80s in this small town called Wiley, Texas. It's enticing, and as I mentioned, it'll just keep you like wanting more because it's very thrilling. It makes your heart race a little bit. Now, the reason I think it's so thrilling and exciting to watch is not only does Biel do a great job of depicting this woman, not that I knew Candy personally, but there's also a lot just like involved with it. Like there's kind of like some scandal involved. There's an affair that takes place. And there's just, it's very interesting to me. Like, I just love watching shows like this. Because it's interesting to see how they're always going to end. And it's interesting because it's based off true events, you essentially know the ending or you can look up the ending. Right? And so, I don't know, you're just like always wanting more from it. It's so fascinating.
They're not like laying it all out for you, are they? Because it's like 5 different things. So they holding some key information back throughout that they're kind of unraveling as you go?
Yes, exactly. So it kind of starts with the initial, and this isn't really spoiling per se, but essentially Candy was accused of murdering her friend Betty with an axe, right? And so that's kind of, they allude to that in the first episode, and then you kind of after that it backtracks and alludes to the rest of it, the rest of the series.
As they're interrogating her there or questioning her, as she says, we were, and she pauses, friends. I'm like, oh.
I know, it just makes you feel so many things, but it really is a great watch. It's definitely a little bit creepy, but if you find yourself wanting to stay out of the heat this weekend and need something good on Hulu, go check that out. There's a lot of really good Hulu originals right now. Yeah. So yeah,
thanks,
definitely.
Blake.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that. All right, well, up next, it's Friday, which means it's time for some weekend music.
That's right, here from Mike the Intern when we return up next.